Dzień dobry, witam was bardzo serdecznie. Kontynuujemy sobie Mass Effect, misję na Feros. Jesteśmy aktualnie w mateczniku roślinki nazwanej Torjan. A roślinka ów jest bardzo fajna, taka duża, szklarniowa raczej. Pan tu jakiś klęczy.
That is disturbing.
That does not look like any plant I've ever seen. This may be problematic.
Lubi ludzi ta roślinka, to na pewno.
Invaders, your every step is a transgression. 1,000 feelers appraise you as meat, good only to dig or decompose. I speak for the old growth as I did for Saren. You are within and before the Thorian. It commands that you be in awe.
You gave something to Sarah. Something I need.
Saren sought knowledge of those who are gone. The old growth listened to flesh for the first time in the long cycle. Trades were made. Then cold ones began killing the flesh that would tend the next cycle. Flesh fairly given. The old growth sees the air you push as lies. It will listen no more.
I won't let you keep your thralls. Release them, now!
No more will the Thorian listen to those that scurry. Your lives are short, but have gone on too long. Your blood will feed the ground in the new growth.
Proszę zareagować. Agresja, agresja. Kurde, znowu te zombiaki cholerne. Garus, co ty odwalasz? Dobra, to poszło sprawnie. Wow. Cholera, dużo was tu. Uciekaj, uciekaj, uciekaj. Te ich żygi są bardziej zabójcze niż karabin. Jezu, no co za ciuciu babka.
I feel better now. Commander Shepard, there is something here. A growth of some kind.
Tak, no zauważyłem. Trzeba by tą... Miej mi broń, dziękuję. Coś czuję, że to nas wkurzy.
That had the desired effect, I believe. A few more and it will be severely hurt.
Jeszcze kilka więcej i ja tego nie przeżyję. Dobra, sprawdzimy sobie ekwipunek, czy ja czasem nie mam jakiejś fajnej strzelby gdzieś tam pod kocem schowanej. Mam w sumie katanę. Bierę. Tutaj nic lepszego nie mam. Tutaj na pewno nic lepszego nie mam. A tutaj i... Tutaj to i owszem. Agresor lepszy. Z pancerzami nawet nie ma co wydziwiać. Proszę bardzo, Jaro, dla ciebie tsunami. Nie wiem, czy to robi ci jakąkolwiek różnicę. Agresor, tak, dostaniesz też. Okej, tu masz niezłe, tu masz niezłe. Chociaż to jest lepsze. To dostaniesz to. Garius. Masz Tsunami 5. Nic lepszego nie mogę ci zaoferować. Tu masz Sejmitara. Też nic lepszego. A chociaż w sumie nawałnicę mogę ci dać lepszą. Jeżeli chodzi o pistolet, nic lepszego. Od żądła. Nie, wystarczające to jest. To jest też ok. No tylko nie mam dla ciebie zbroi niestety. No, bardzo nad tym ubolewam, Garus. Chyba to zginęło. Kogo on tam znowu wypluwa? Ej, no przecież cię zabiłem.
Engaging target.
Dobra. Spoko, że... Proszę reagować na sytuację. No już. Proszę nie żygać. Ale ta strzelba jest kluczowa w tej potyczce, bo wywracam ich. Jeżeli ja ich wywracam, to oni już są martwi. Tylko jeszcze o tym nie wiedzą. No chodź tu. No chodź, chodź. Na ziemię. Cholera, przegrzała mi się. No już. Szafka z bronią. Dawaj. Jakąkolwiek broń masz. Biorę wszystko. A widzę, że masz jakieś niezłe rzeczy. I już zaczyna się 7. Dobra, tutaj mamy kolejny neurowęzeł. Neurowęzeł. No to żeś go wkurzył teraz. Garus, odsuńże się. Tak, gdzieś znowu polazła. O nie. Nie mam apteczek już. To jest bardzo niedobrze. Proszę umierać, dziękuję. Cholera, jeszcze ona! Myślałem, że ją utłukliście. Wow! Dobra. To z tą mamy spokój. O nie. Jak to by powiedział Timon, czuję, co się święci. Zrobimy to sobie po kroku, żeby nam tu wszyscy się nie zlecieli. No i chodź tutaj. No chodź, chodź, chodź. Bardzo fajnie. Jara. Proszę, nie przeszkadzaj. To teraz się wkurzyli. Dobra, zapraszam, moi mili państwo. Cholera. Kurde. Nie trafiłem w niego. Ty sobie żartujesz od nowa? Nie. No ale właściwie tak, no nie było nie działo to save'u. Dobra, więc tak, robię pauzę. Wrócę do was za chwilę. Jak przejdę kawałek dalej, po co macie to oglądać drugi raz? Nic się specjalnie nie działo. Okej, jestem z powrotem w tym samym miejscu. Widzicie jak szybko, wow! Cholera, znowu ty. Wyjątkowo cię nie lubię. Przestawiłem się w ogóle na karabin. Uważam, że jest potężniejszy. Tutaj mamy stację medyczną. Jak tutaj będzie mediżel, to normalnie jak miód na moje lekko zranione serce. Nie, mamy lekkie pancerze. Aha. Przydatne chociaż te pancerze. Jara, co powiesz? Ty masz Feniksa, dostaniesz lepszego Feniksa. No, jest jedno ulepszenie więcej. Proszę bardzo. A dla ciebie, Garus, dalej nic. No, tyś jest biedny chłop. I mogę zrobić save'a. To jest bardzo przydatna rzecz. Dalej, ladź ich. Cholera. Nie żegaj na mnie. Na nią możesz, byle nie na mnie. Uła. Jakoś poszło. Ile jeszcze będzie tych węzłów? Znowu ona, no dobra, no wiem, że to powtarzam, ale irytujące to jest, jak musisz ciągle z tym samym walczyć. Ile razy można zabijać jedną i tą samą osobę? Co jest? Czemu nie strzelam? Okej. Coś się zablokowało, ewidentnie. No ale chodź, że tu została nam sklonowana pani. Okej. Ała, ła, ła. Coś mnie tutaj bije dalej. I przestać nie chcę.
Perimeter clear. Almost there, Commander. That thing has to drop soon.
Ja mam naprawdę taką nadzieję, że to w końcu padnie. Jest dziwnego schiza, że oni... Jasny gwint! Nie widziałem cię, Te blade. Jak ja nie lubię tego etapu. Aha, dobra, przynajmniej od tego momentu zaczynamy. No, warto robić save'y. Kiedy gra mi na to pozwala, oczywiście. Jak wam idzie to trafianie w ścianę? Tak jak im wchodzenie w ścianę. Znakomicie. Dobra, wycofujemy się, panowie. No właściwie to pani. Dobra, niech oni sobie zejdą. Jakoś ostatnio jak pamiętałem, że mniej było. Jeszcze jeden. Garus, wstawaj, żeż. Garus. Chłopie. No. Save, tak. A, bo tutaj oni byli. Okej.
That thing has to drop soon.
No nie wiem, czy jest sens się tam pchać. Może oni sami tam przyjdą. Ale nie zmieniaj broni. Ojej. By the way, ja nie mam żadnych granatów. Jasny gwint. Te mędy też ożyły. Dobra. Jestem zmuszony użyć jedności. Pochodzi, brzmi to okrutnie. Ja pier... Kurwa mać! Okej. Przynajmniej teraz wiem, że ci z tyłu mogą w dalszym ciągu wstać. Więc aby tego uniknąć, to wydaje mi się, że dobrym pomysłem będzie po prostu tutaj stać. Oni się tu w końcu pofatygują, prawda? Coś mam takie wrażenie. W tej asali dobrze jest zacząć. No i jak wam tam idzie? Jara was wykrywa, widzę. Trochę mi się kojarzy z tym patykiem, którym się szuka wody na pustyni. Co oni robią? Dlaczego biegają jak ten przysłowiowy, choć nie ma takich przysłów, ale chodzi mi o kota z pęcherzem. I dlaczego ci się nie chcą ożywić? Czekają aż tutaj wlezę, by mogła się uruchomić sekwencja, prawda? Nienawidzę skryptów w takich miejscach. Spieprzaj. Przestań wymiotować na wiarę. Okej. Garus oczywiście znowu zdech, no bo nie ma pancerzy dla niego. Muszę mu w końcu kupić. Garus, obiecuję, że ci kupię. Z ręką na sercu będziemy na Normandii, to ci kupię. Chyba że nie będzie, bo tam sam ekwipunek przymierza tam jest. To jak będziemy na Cytadeli, to ci wtedy kupię. Dobra. Myślę, że się ucieszył w głębi serca. Dawaj, konie. Też umiem od kształcenia. Wszystko? Wszystko! Tak jest! Zgin, przepadnij! Dziwny dębie Bartku. O, ona nie jest już zielona. To chyba dobry znak.
I'm free. I suppose I should thank you for releasing me.
Nie ufam pani.
Is everything all right? Are you hurt?
I am fine, or I will be, in time. My name is Shiala. I served Matriarch Benezia. When she allied herself with Saren, so did I. Benezia foresaw the influence Saren would have. She joined him to guide him down a gentler path. But Saren is compelling. Benezia lost her way.
Are you saying Saren can control minds?
Benezia underestimated Saren, as I did. We came to believe in his cause and his goals. The strength of his influence is troubling.
Benezia sought to turn the river and was swept away.
Asari matriarchs are among the most intelligent and powerful beings in the galaxy. How could one fall under Saren's control?
Saren has a vessel, an enormous warship unlike anything I've ever seen. He calls it Sovereign. It can dominate the minds of his followers. They become indoctrinated to Saren's will. The process is subtle. It can take days, weeks, but in the end, it is absolute. I was a willing slave when Saren brought me to this world. He needed my biotics to communicate with the Thorian, to learn its secrets. Saren offered me in trade. I was sacrificed to secure an alliance between Saren and the Thorian.
Saren's pretty quick to betray his own people.
He was quick to betray the Thorian, too. After he had what he wanted, he ordered the Geth to destroy all evidence of its existence. Saren knows you are searching for the conduit. He knows you are following his steps. He attacked the Thorian so you could not gain the cipher.
What's the cipher? And why did Saren need it?
The beacon on Eden Prime gave you visions. But the visions are unclear, confusing. They were meant for a Prothean mind. To truly comprehend them, you must think like a Prothean. You must understand their culture, their history, their very existence. The Thorian was here long before the Protheans built this city. It watched and studied them. When they died, it consumed them. They became a part of it.
So the Thorian taught Saren to think like a Prothean. How?
The cipher is the very essence of being a Prothean. It cannot be described or explained. It would be like describing color to a creature without eyes. To understand, you must have access to endemic ancestral memory, a viewpoint spanning thousands of Prothean generations. I sensed this ancestral memory, the cipher, when I melded with the Thorian. Our identities merged, our minds intertwined. Such knowledge cannot be taught. It simply exists.
I need that knowledge to stop Saren.
There is a way. I can transfer the knowledge from my mind to yours, as I did with Saren. Try to relax, Commander. Slow, deep breaths. Let go of your physical shell. Reach out to grasp the threads that bind us, one to another. Every action sends ripples across the galaxy. Every idea must touch another mind to live. Each emotion must mark another's spirit. We are all connected. Every living being united in a single glorious existence. Open yourself to the universe, Commander. Embrace eternity. I have given you the cipher, just as it was given to Saren. The ancestral memories of the Protheans are part of you now.
Are you all right? What just happened?
I saw something. It still didn't make any sense.
You have been given a great gift, the experience of an entire people. It will take time for your mind to process this information.
We should get you back to the ship where you can be monitored.
I'm sorry if you have suffered, but there was no other way. You needed the cipher. In time, it will help you understand the vision from the beacon.
O, sporo pytań.
Tell me more about this ship Saren has.
Sovereign is alien. I do not know how it was built or where it comes from. Its design does not match that of any known spacefaring species. It dwarfs any vessel in the Citadel or Alliance fleets. Its weapons are devastating, its defenses virtually impenetrable. With it, Saren believes he is unstoppable.
You said Saren uses it to manipulate his followers.
The indoctrination. There is an energy about Sovereign. You feel drawn to the ship. It makes Saren's arguments more persuasive, more compelling. Spend enough time in Sovereign's presence and you will lose yourself. There is no other way to explain it.
I want to know more about Benezia.
Benezia was greatly respected among our people. A powerful biotic, even for an Asari. She was widely known as a teacher of philosophy and religion. She always sought the paths of peace and harmony. She joined with Saren because she hoped to turn him away from his path of destruction.
Dosyć naiwna filozofia.
Instead, she became one of his most powerful allies.
As I mentioned before, Matriarch Benezia underestimated Saren. Be sure you do not make the same mistake.
What else can you tell me about Saren?
There is little I could tell you that you do not already know. He's powerful, he's charismatic, and he is dangerous. Once I followed him, blind to his true nature. But now I see he's leading the galaxy into an age of darkness and suffering.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Thorian?
When the creature enveloped me, I became part of it, but I still don't truly understand it. So alien, so ancient. Its exact age is impossible to know. It measured time differently. 10,000 years of hibernation broken by a few frantic centuries of activity. Its mind was awesome, magnificent. It transcended all classification. And now it is gone.
Don't tell me you feel sorry for that thing.
The Thorian was a unique life form. A sentient being that lived for 50,000 years, maybe more. There is nothing even remotely like it in the known galaxy. I am grateful you saved me from a life of thraldom. Yet I cannot help but feel some sorrow for the loss of such a rare and remarkable creature.
I want to know more about you.
There is nothing remarkable about me. I was merely one of Matriarch Benezia's disciples. For nearly 2 centuries I followed her, learning at her feet. When Benezia revealed her plan to join Saren, she gave her disciples a choice. Only those who were willing had to follow her. Many felt her plan was too dangerous, but I believed in her. I thought she could turn Saren away from his insanity. Instead, we joined him in it.
Now that you're free of the Thorian, what are you planning to do next?
If you allow it, I would like to stay here with the colonists. They have suffered greatly, and I played a role in their suffering. I would like to make amends.
The colonists will need all the help they can get. They'll be happy to have you on their side.
Thank you, Commander. May fortune smile upon you.
You did it. With the Thorian gone, we can start rebuilding for ourselves again. And we're free of Exogenes' threats. We're back to being just a little nowhere colony. Thank you, Commander.
To wszystko?
It'll be tough going.
You saved most of the infected. It'll take time to recover from the physical effects, but they'll be all right.
Damn.
Thank you.
Ale nie wszyscy. A założę się, że miałbym.
That data will be very
Założę się, że miałbym jakiegoś achievementa za to, że wszyscy przeżyją. No ale trudno.
I fought so hard, but any thought of my... I will do what I can to assist the colony in this difficult time. I am ashamed of the damage done to the lives of these people.
Dobra, nie.
Farewell, Shiala.
Farewell, Commander. I wish you well in your hunt.
No i nawzajem. Nie jest to nasze ostatnie spotkanie. Zapewniam.
Thank you for everything you did.
Thanks, Commander. It's great to be free again.
I have my own thoughts again. Thank you, Commander.
Tutaj mogę coś deszyfrować jeszcze. A. No proszę. Co się znowu wydarzyło? Coś się dzieje z moją klawiaturą.
Free. I can't.
Thank you for everything.
Okej, wszyscy nam dziękują, dobra robota. Wyzwoliliśmy kolonię. Jest super świetnie. Na Normandię wracamy.
Finally, that damn thing is out of my head. I can think without pain. And with the power cells you brought, I can get this place up and running again. Thanks, Commander.
Nie ma sprawy. Taka scenka nie była potrzebna.
It will take time for things to get back to. Thank you for freeing us.
Ach, to nic wielkiego, naprawdę. Wykonuję tylko swoje obowiązki. Dobra, getów już tutaj nie ma. Zombiaków też już nie ma. Jest za to pełno pyłu. Jak ty umiesz oddychać w tym? Praktycznie odzywa się moja alergia w momencie, kiedy wchodzisz w ten pył. No ale dobra, nieważne to, nieistotne. Do Normandii zapraszamy. Liala, gdzie ty tam znowu łazisz? Jeszcze na wszelki zerknę sobie tylko. Zbadaj próbki. Aktywność getów. Zbadaj stacje. Zbadaj dostawy. Same ciekawe rzeczy nas czekają. Dobra, to w takim razie Noweria będzie musiała zaczekać, bo mam tutaj do badania różne, różniste rzeczy.
Shore party. Decontamination in progress. Decontamination in progress.
Commander, you look pale. Are you suffering any ill effects from the cipher?
The cipher shook me up a bit.
I might be able to help you. I am an expert on the Protheans. If I join my consciousness to yours, maybe we can make some sense of it.
Do it. Hurry. We don't have much time.
Relax, Commander. Embrace eternity. That was incredible. All this time, all my research, yet I never dreamed. I am sorry. The images were so vivid. I never imagined the experience would be so intense. You are remarkably strong-willed, Commander. What you have been through, what you have seen, would have destroyed a lesser mind.
Come on, get to the point. What did you see?
The beacon on Eden
Ale
Prime
ją to
must have been
wkurza.
badly damaged. Large parts of the vision are missing. The data transferred into the Commander's mind is incomplete.
You sure you didn't come across any kind of clue or hint? Something we might have missed?
Everything I saw you already know. You were right about the Reapers. The Protheans were destroyed by a race of sentient machines. I think it is obvious there is a connection between the Reapers, the Prothean extinction, and the Conduit, but I did not see anything that would help us find it.
What's our next move?
I was able to interpret the data relayed through your vision, what was there at least, but something was missing. Saren must have the missing information. Maybe he found another beacon. If we can find the missing data from your vision, I can... Oh. I am sorry. The joining is exhausting. I should go to the medical bay and lie down for a moment.
Mnie nie zmęczyło.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest. Somewhere quiet.
We're done here. Dismissed.
I've sent off the Pharos report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Aha, zawsze ta rada na końcu. Dobra.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, Exogeny should have told us about the Thorian. It would have made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying it.
The Thorian liked to enslave minds. Anyone who studied it would have ended up as one of its thralls.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths to help a human colony.
Ej, po co ta pasywna agresywność?
Being human had nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye, Commander. We will be waiting for your next report.
Czyli co? Miałem ich zabić i wziąć tego Torjana, to wtedy byście byli bardziej zadowoleni? Nie wiem, jakoś to do mnie nie przemawia. Zresztą nie musi. Spocznij, żołnierzu. Więc tak, jako że jesteśmy po jednej z misji głównych, to należałoby pogadać sobie z załogą.
Anything you need, Commander?
Coś do powiedzenia?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Another L2 flare-up.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
I haven't heard anything about kinetics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they botched the training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
Często nauczyciele są winni.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Jest to czasami naiwne, co ja wybieram.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, it was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Być może powinienem się powstrzymywać czasem od nadmiernych komentarzy i moich odczuć, ale no chyba o to w tym wszystkim chodzi, tak? Żeby poznać W końcu to ja w to gram. A cóż to? O, to przydatne. Tutaj siedzi Liara.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
Jakbym już tą rozmowę raz odbywał.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
No paradoksalnie to jest jedna z fajniejszych rozmów, jakie w Mass Effectie odbyłem. No jest urocze. Dobra, windą w dół. I tak, jeżeli Mass Effect, to oczywiście kwestia romansów. Jeżeli się jeszcze nikt nie domyślił, to wolę Liarę. Jeżeli ma to jakikolwiek... jeżeli ma to jakiekolwiek znaczenie. Ashley jest zbyt... bo ja wiem, żołnierska? O! Miło usłyszeć entuzjazm.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Steren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian has ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Seren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Seren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Seren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
I should go.
See you later.
Miło było pogadać, Tali. No to teraz co? Do Garusa. Garus zapewne znowu będzie miał jakieś swoje przemyślenia, ale nie.
Looking for supplies?
No.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Teraz tak. Typ. Pistolet, karabiny, lekkie pancerze. I to jest wszystko, co ty masz do sprzedania? No to żeś mnie, powiem ci, rozczarował. Dobra, Garus. Daj mi poznać twoje rozterki życiowe.
Good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
O, coś ciekawego.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic.
Elkoriańskiego.
That clear cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
Elkoriańskiego. Elkory to były te słonie. Ciężko mi to sobie wyobrazić.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
No, trzeba o to zapytać po prostu.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Oh.
Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatened? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
Well, it's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
No tak mi się wydawało, że kogoś takiego śledziliśmy, ale nie byłem pewien, czy to była jedynka, czy dwójka. A tu proszę.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
I mamy misję. I to chyba jest jedyny raz, kiedy nasz towarzysz bezpośrednio daje nam jakąkolwiek misję do zrobienia. Nawet poboczną. Dobra. To co? Ashley?
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Nie. Udajmy, że to się zdarzyło
Are you
właśnie.
interested in the lieutenant, chief?
Of course not, sir. Fraternization is against regulations. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
No teraz będziemy pytać o tatę, mamę, siostry, dom. Jeszcze zwierzaka tutaj brakuje po tej stronie. No ale czemu nie?
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Nie dziwię się.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
After helping raise them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
Sambo? Czy to ma coś wspólnego z tańcem?
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
No kurde, tego się nie spodziewałem.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
To też była całkiem interesująca rozmowa. W kwestii Boga. Albo dobra. Co tam, Rex?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Jakich?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
Nie kumam.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sporo symboliki jak na lud, który lubi się, jak to ujął Rex, napierdalać.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
No, jako że przepytaliśmy wszystkich, minęła kolejna godzina materiału, tak i ja żegnam się z wami w tej chwili i zapraszam do kolejnej dawki super przygód następnym razem. Do zobaczenia, siema.